Either him or one of the scholars said, he said these passages should be secret from the Jewish layman, cannot be explained.
You'd have to show me that inside.
Here, I'll show you. I'm going to show you that. Either it's Maymoon or I'll show you. It was in the website called what is it? Torah website. It is well known. So my point here is that even, for example, there's many I can show you from inside and outside the Torah cannot be trusted.
It can't be trusted.
Okay, what is the earliest manuscript for the Torah?
The earliest manuscript, there's the Dead Sea Scrolls.
How long between the Torah and Moses?
Between Moses and the Dead Sea Scrolls?
Yeah.
About 1,500.
Yes, so basically you are trusting someone said something about Moses 1,000 years before, after.
Would you like me to explain why?
Yeah, go on.
At Sinai, the Jewish people all together heard God speak. Every single one of them. It wasn't just Moses, right? Every single one of them heard God speak. And they told us their children, they told us their children. That's how I know that event happened. Now, if that event happened, which we know happened, then that means that Moses must have been a true prophet. If Moses was a true prophet, then that means the book that our tradition concurs that he gave to us must be a divine book.
Okay, that called circular reasoning. Circular reasoning means the proof that this Quran from Allah, because Allah said the Quran from Allah.
No.
Therefore, no, it is because what you are saying that the Jewish people heard God speaking to Moses. Where do you get that information from? From a Torah.
No, that's not true.
Allow me to finish.
Okay, fine.
From a Dead Sea Scroll, the Torah. Now, this oral transmission, you don't have it. Okay? Allow me to finish. You know why? Because within the Torah, God cursed you many times.
Yes.
God said you are idol worshippers many times. Can you trust cursed people and idol worshippers? Can you trust them?
God did not say that all of us are idolaters.
No, wait.
Always a remnant.
Wait, the people that were in charge, they are the majority who turn against God. Is that correct?
No, they were not the majority.
I didn't say that. Majority of people in charge, people that are in charge, that's what Jeremiah 8:8 said. How can you claim to be wise when the Torah has been when the pen of the scribes changed the Torah?
That's not what it says. That's not what it says.
Yeah. Jeremiah 8:8.
I know it's Jeremiah 8:8. You always bring up this verse. It's the same one. You've misinterpreted it.
I misinterpreted it. Come
and
on.
you've mistranslated it as well.
We're gonna see.
Worse.
We're gonna see. So anyway, here, watch.
Jeremiah 8:8.
How can we say we are wise? For we have the law of the Lord. What is the law of the Lord? The Torah. When actually the lion pen of the scribes has handled it falsely.
No, not it falsely.
I'm reading here.
I'm not looking at your English translation. I care about the Hebrew.
Brother. Don't tell me I don't care. It's not my English translation firstly.
It's about English translation.
No, there's no Muslim translation. That is not Muslim translation.
It's a bad translation.
Okay, no problem. Tell us what it means.
Yeah, I'll tell you what it says.
Yeah.
Eicho somu. How can you say Chachamim anachnu, that we are wise? V'soras Hashem etanu, and the Lord
We are
is
wise.
with us.
Say it again.
How can you say we are wise?
Okay.
V'soras Hashem etanu, and that the Torah of Hashem is with us? Ochein, verily, hinei la sheker oso. Behold, he has done something for naught. 8 sheker sophim, a pen of lying scribes.
So what does that mean? Lying scribes. So what does that mean?
It means that the false prophets that he's talking about here in this entire chapter, which you haven't read the whole chapter.
I did read it because the whole chapter Jeremiah rebuking the Israelites.
Chapter 8.
No.
Chapter 8 of
Brother,
Jeremiah.
before you start accusing me of something, I read all of it.
Really?
Jeremiah.
What's chapter 8 about?
So finish. Jeremiah rebuking you, but firstly, before we go to that, what is the translation? Because you says the wrong translation. There's many translations here, and all of them.
It word for word.
So what is it?
I'll tell you again.
No, just translate it without reading the Hebrew bit.
Fine. How do you say we are wise and the Torah of Hashem is with us?
With us.
Verily, behold, it has done it for naught. It has done for naught. A pen of lying scribes.
Yeah, carry on.
That's the end.
So here, all the translation here, these different translators, all of them mistranslated. All of them. Look. How can you say, now watch, I'm going to show you, because it is known you just did taqiyya now. You did taqiyya, taqiyya, Shia one. You just did.
I'm reading from the verse.
No, we're going to see.
I translated it word for word.
We're going to see if you translate it word for word.
That's fine. Because
Brother,
I'm not
excuse
going
me.
to try and interpret the Quran, because I don't know Arabic. I'm not
but you
I'm
cannot.
going to try and try and do and interpret the Gospel, because I don't know Greek.
You
I
can.
will interpret this because I know Hebrew.
Let us see all the translation, because it doesn't make any sense if all the translators translated it wrongly except you. We cannot trust you.
Fine, don't trust me.
Yeah, so let us see what a translator said. New International Version. How can you say we are wise, for we have the law of the Lord, when actually the lying pen of scribes has handled it falsely? New Living Translation. How can you say we are wise because we have the word of the Lord, when your teachers have twisted by writing lies? What lies are talking about? It's about the Torah. Okay?
How does this compare with the Hebrew then? That's the
Brother, what I'm showing you, it is irrational. All the translators from a different background, from a different organization, mistranslated it. Even though there's no point, there's no need for them to mistranslate it, because there are Christians who they're gonna make sure to not mistranslate the Torah for the sake to claim the Torah help us as the Christians. So if it was a Muslim, for the sake of argument, I say yes, maybe. You understand? So we have all the translators translating it the way he mentions that Jeremiah rebuking. So anyway, so let's go back to the main point.
Don't accept those translations because it's not what the Hebrew.
We don't accept the translation. We don't trust you. That's
Fine,
it.
don't trust me then.
Yeah, but can you prove to us? The people are listening to us and watching us. They're gonna say, hold a minute. So the translators from different background, different organizations came together to lie about one passages.
Look,
that is not true. Allow me to finish. Imagine now, someone comes to me. He's a Muslim. He said, Shamsi, there's a fight outside. Are you listening? Okay. Imagine someone comes to me and says, Shamsi, there's a fight outside. Another person comes, says, Shamsi, there is a fight outside. Another person comes, Shamsi, there is a fight outside. 20 of them, they never met each other. They don't know each other. Logically, they cannot be lying, because they never met each other. You see what I'm saying? So all the translators from different organizations, different background, they're gonna mistranslate, and we're gonna trust you. It's irrational.
Fine, don't trust me. You know what to do? Learn Hebrew, read the words, and find out what it's.
I will, inshallah.
Okay.
I will. Yeah, I will. So because the translators, they know Hebrew. So how come they tell us?
They don't know Hebrew.
So the translator doesn't know Hebrew.
Those translators did not translate from the Hebrew. They translated from the Latin Vulgate, which was a translation of the LXX.
How do you know they're not translating from Hebrew? How do you know?
Because all of the Christian translations are based on the Vulgate.
Let me see. Let us see.
You know what the Vulgate is?
Why is it good?
Vulgate is a Latin translation of the LXX, made by Jerome. Right? This is a Latin thing, which is a translation from the Greek, which is a translation, a bad translation of the Hebrew.
Yeah, but wait, you cannot claim that for all the translators, my point.
I can, and I will, because I read and understand Hebrew.
No, you missing it. You cannot claim all the translators translated it directly from Latin or Greek. You cannot claim that. That's irrational. You're making a lot of irrational statements. Anyway, the point here is, so what I'm saying, that I'm showing you that you made a irrational statement by saying that the last passages in Deuteronomy is a prophecy. And we know prophecy, when you say...
I said it's written by a prophet. That's what I said.
Did you say prophecy or not? He said prophecy. Now you're changing.
Written by a prophet.
By a prophet. Who is the prophet written by?
Either Moses or Joshua.
So you know, sure. It can be written by someone else.
No, it wasn't written by somebody else.
Brother, if you tell me this is the word of God, I say, oh, God revealed it to who? You're going to tell me either him or him. You're not sure, because the rabbis have differed. Some rabbis said it was given to Moses, okay, as a prophecy. That doesn't make any sense when you read the passages and the context. Some rabbis said it was given to Joshua, and doesn't stop there. Some rabbis said it was given to the prophet after Joshua. You understand? Yeah, there is an opinion. There is an opinion. There is an opinion that it was who is it? I think one of them is maybe Jeremiah, who's written. I heard that, but I'm not going to say the strongest opinion or something. But my point here is that you cannot utilize the Torah that you don't know who has written it.
I can, because I do know who wrote it. I do know who wrote it.
You're not sure if Joshua. Say, okay, is it one?
If you're having an issue with me about 8 verses, guess what? Muhammad doesn't contradict those 8 verses. Muhammad contradicts different verses.
Which one? God got tired?
No, not that verse.
Okay, that's God got tired.
It doesn't say that God got tired.
Okay, it says...
Where does it say God was tired?
Okay, go to Numbers. He said, God created the heavens and the earth.
Yes.
In 6 days.
Yes.
And the 7th day, rested and refreshed. What he's going to say to me? Watch. He's going to say mistranslation. I will expose him because I speak to Jewish boy.
I'm not going to say
There was a Jewish boy with me, and he said, no, it's not mistranslation. It says that. Okay.
Yeah, it does say that.
Okay.
It doesn't mean he was sleepy. It doesn't mean he rested.
What does it mean, rest and refresh?
Resting doesn't mean you're tired.
Okay, if I say I've been working the whole week, I'm resting tomorrow. In my context, what does it mean?
In your context, that means that you're tired.
When God says He created the heavens and the earth in 6 days and rested 7th day, what does it mean?
It means that he stopped working.
And refreshed.
Yes.
You know what refresh mean? Mean re-energized.
Yes.
So God needs to be re-energized, but God is a full powerful.
Do you know what anthropomorphism is?
Now you're gonna talk about. I know anthropomorphism because we have that in Islam as well.
Great.
Yeah.
You'll appreciate.
So you're gonna say it's metaphorical.
Yes.
Hold a minute. Now, where's the yardstick to say which one is metaphorical, which one is not?
The yardstick is as follows. Every single physical description of God in the entire Tanakh, according to Judaism, is anthropomorphism. Every single one.
Okay, so that God exists.
When it said, yes, he exists.
Do you exist?
Yes.
Are you like God now?
No.
So you know what I'm doing now?
I know exactly what you're saying. Because you think that existence is the prerequisite. That's not true.
It's an attribute, existence.
Existence is not an attribute.
So where is it?
Existence is nothing. It's just a word.
Existence is nothing.
Describe something. It's
Yeah, describe. So it's description, which is an attribute.
an adjective.
Okay, it's description. You are describing something that exists. Okay. So God exists.
For most people, I thought you were a bit clever.
By the way, we're going to.
When I say
So what we're talking here is a bit more deeper for people to understand. We're talking about he's as a Jewish man, not only Jewish. Some Jewish, what they explain away some passages talking about God. So when you talk about God's face, they say no, it doesn't mean that. It's metaphorical, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what he's doing. So now, just before we go to that, you said, because I don't want to go into deeper, for people can understand, make it simple for people. Now, so when he said rested and refreshed, it's metaphorical.
Yes.
So when he created the heavens and the earth, is it metaphorical?
In creation, in human sense, sure.
So he never created the heavens and the earth.
Depends what you mean by creation. Now, you can't say he didn't create
Nah,
it.
I can't speak some more of them.
Look, I was going to say it in a very simple way, but I say there's a very simple way of existence, but you didn't like that, so I'm going to have to do the complicated thing, which is where you describe it using negatives, in that you won't say that God actually does something which is a physical thing. Instead, you'd have to say that you can't say that he doesn't do the physical thing. You can't say that but he definitely does not do the physical thing either. Right?
Whoa, no, slow down. You've been talking more. Say again, God doesn't do physical thing.
Okay, I wanted to say God exists, for example, God created, for example.
Yeah.
However, you didn't like that because you said, well, we do certain things too. So therefore, I'm going to have to say the negative way and say, we know that God definitely did not create it, right? We know we can't say that he didn't create it, and we can't say that he did create it. So what do we have to say?
You have to
he definitely did not create it.
So you cannot say, listen carefully, people, yeah? He said, correct me, brother. So you cannot say God did not create it. Likewise, you can also say God did create.
You can't say he did, you can't say he didn't. Instead, you have to do a double negative in order to cover yourself on both bases if you're going to go through this
I respect.
loophole.
Was Moses a philosopher?
Moses was a prophet.
He was a prophet. So this philosophical thing, this doesn't make any sense because what you're doing now, because you've been put in a big problem here, you had to create and invent a new way of understanding Moses' teaching by using the Greek philosophy. That's not the teaching of Moses. Okay, I'll show you the teaching of Moses, but before we go to that, people understand what he's saying. He said we cannot say God create and we cannot say God did not create. That it is irrational, illogical.
Nope.
Do you know what? Okay, listen to this. Okay, do you believe in law of contradiction?
Yes.
Is that universal?
What do you mean?
Is it something God gave it to us? Everyone knows that you can. It is impossible to exist and don't exist same time. Correct?
For a human being, yes.
Okay. Now see. Okay. So are you saying for God it's possible to exist and not exist same time?
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying
is for human being.
What I'm saying is, because you say, well, I exist and God exists, therefore.
No. That was my question. This is my question.
So if you're going to say that, we're going to have to say that we know that we can't say that God doesn't exist. Right? That's heresy, right? And we can't. But now you're adding a new thing. We also can't say that God does exist. So we end up having to say that God definitely does not exist. That's what we end up having to say because of your semantical nonsense.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about what you said.
You know what I said to you? I said to you, love conjunction.
Yes.
God gave it to us.
Yes, you don't
And it
understand
applies
what
to.
I'm saying.
No, listen carefully.
God definitely doesn't not exist. Get that through your head.
God does not exist.
No, that's not what I said. He definitely does not exist.
Okay, so he does exist.
That's not what I said either.
Oh, you're just playing with words, man.
Brother, no, please. Even a non. Wait. Stop. I want a non-Muslim to come here and speak to this individual guy because my English, because he creates his own English. So that doesn't exist or exist.
He exists.
He exists.
And now
Okay.
you're going to say,
Wait.
before.
No,
that's why I have to double.
You have to let me finish.
That's why I have to do these.
Let me to finish.
Because you play it with me first. That's why.
Brother, you have finished, brother. Calm down. You know, while I ask you the question, is it rational to say someone exists and don't exist at the same time? Is it rational?
Is it rational? No.
You just told us that God creates and didn't create at the same time.
No, that's not what I said.
Okay, did God create?
Fine, I'll say God created. Sure.
Okay, God created. So when God said create the heavens and the earth in 6 days, was that metaphorical or was an actual action?
An action of creating. Fine, I'll go down your rabbit hole. Fine.
No, don't say I'm a rabbit hole.
Yeah,
Don't say that.
rabbit hole.
What you believe?
What I believe is that God does not do any physical things. And creation, by what we think of creation, is a physical thing. And therefore God did not do that.
I'm not saying that. Did God create or not?
That's what you mean by create.
He created the creation.
What do you mean?
He did create it.
This is the problem.
Did he create the creation? I'm
This is the
asking you.
problem.
Did God create the creation?
He did create.
Okay, so when the context when he said he created the creation 6 days, 7 days rested and refreshed. Why you had to say create is actual thing, and when it comes to rest and refreshed, you say it's metaphorical. Where does it say? Wait. Where Moses said that is metaphorical?
Moses did not say the metaphor.
So you made it up.
No, I did not make it up.
Who made it up?
Nobody made it up.
Because if Moses never said it, therefore you have made it up. Moses never said that. It's metaphorical.
Moses did not say it in the Torah. It's part of the oral tradition.
Huh?
It's part of the oral Torah. It's not part of the written Torah.
I know it's by one of the not all the rabbis. Some of them who was affected by the Greek philosophy, they had to explain away the passages, which therefore, if we accept it, therefore we are making God as a physical being.
I have a question for you. You asked me a lot of questions.
No problem. Ask me a question. That's true. I ask you a lot of
Do
questions.
you believe that God exists?
Yes, indeed.
And do you believe that God created?
Yes, indeed.
So you believe these things. So you exist and God exists.
Yeah,
Are
but
you like God?
no, we say as a Muslim now. Let me make you understand Islamic teaching. So what we say doesn't mean because we say God exists or God has a face, therefore it's like our existence, like our face, because there is nothing like unto God. Allah in the Quran said, لَيْسَ كَمِثْلِهِ شَيْءٌ وَهُوَ السَّمِيعُ الْبَصِيرُ. There is nothing like unto Him, and He's the all-hearing, the all-seeing. So whatever Allah attributes Himself with the attributes, for example, He's the most merciful. We have mercy. God has a mercy, but the mercy of God is not like our mercy. You understand? Just for example, the phone has a face, and you have a face, but your face and the phone's face is not the same. You understand?
So why don't you accept that on our
No, because that's a good question. He said, why don't you accept that in our teaching? That's a good question. However, the attribute of rest and refresh, all the time, everyone understands is deficiency. It's not like mercy. Mercy does not necessitate deficiency. Rather, mercy and a time of power, if I'm a powerful man and I forgive someone, that necessitate I'm powerful. I'm just speaking perfect. However, rest and refresh and regret, that is an attribute of deficiency.
No, it's not. No, absolutely not.
I can't.
If a person
Define regret. Define regret.
Okay. If a person regrets, right? So that's a good thing. If a person regrets. Yeah?
Simple concept. It's human understanding.
The-
He's not accepting it. I tried that before.
But that's a simple concept. That
I
is,
know.
that means that when they see attributes, you see attributes as related to God. We see attributes as we can't put any attributes onto God. It's a human understanding of trying to comprehend what we can't comprehend.
I know.
So you cannot put any attribute to God.
We can't put any
Is
attributes.
God alive?
Exactly. He did this
That
before.
means
Right?
that
No,
means
brother, you're not a Jewish man, are you?
That means-
Let me speak.
I'll tell you
I
what.
know. Yeah, but let me speak. Because why? You know, this teaching lead you to paganism. That's why the Muslims call us Ahl Sunnah, refute Ash'ari, refute the other groups, because they were affected by the Jewish people and the Christians who were affected by the Greek philosophy.
Shamsi,
Yeah.
Shamsi,
So my question was to you, Aaron, is God alive?
Is God alive? For humans' understanding, to be able to say, we would say yes, but is it really in the essence of alive? Alive and dead is something that is created by the creator.
Life, huh?
Life and death.
I didn't say death, life.
I'm trying to bring a point. Life
Yeah.
and death
Yeah.
is a created thing by the